Hey everyone, Diane here. I'm filming this Saturday night, but I'll probably upload it in the morning because like I uploaded, I think my last two videos at like 9:30 or 10, and they didn't get a lot of views. So that's probably too late to upload because for people that have their notifications on, it'll pop up on their phone. So I'll probably sometime tomorrow morning I'll release this. I'll upload it. Well, I'll upload it now, and you can set the schedule you want it to be broadcast on YouTube. So today I have 3 Snoopy, well, Peanuts plushes that are part of a set, and they might be collectible, but I'm going to unbox them anyways. And there are like 1 or 2 more, but I think it's a repeat of Charlie Brown in a different uniform and a repeat of Snoopy in a different uniform. I don't think there's any other characters. They're just repeated. But I got these on Amazon. They're new to me. I don't know how long they've had them on Amazon. I didn't look. It usually tells you if you scroll down, like when they were new, when they first came in on Amazon. But they're all 3 space astronaut themed. Let's see, Snoopy in space mini plush, and they're all Snoopy in space. And it says, watch on Apple TV Plus. Oh, so this must be a series on TV, Snoopy in space, and on a streaming channel. The Apple TV, I think, is a streaming channel. Yeah, it is. So, and they all say that. So let's unbox them. I'm going to display them, probably on a shelf I have. Okay, here's really cute. He's wearing a shirt. It's really cute. Has a circle. Well, I'm getting out of the range. I'm on my iPad. And I'm going to keep the tag on him because I always do. I'll keep this tag. I always do because I dated someone in the 90s whose kids were into Beanie Babies, and they always left the tag on, and they said the value goes down if you don't leave the tag on. And they even have, like, for tie Beanie Babies, for the tie, they even had like a plastic case that fit over the tag, I remember. So, because they're collectible. But this is really cute. And let's open the other one. Let's open Charlie Brown. Okay. He's got a long sleeve top on, it looks like. He's really cute. Yes. And what's it say on this tag? Let me see. Oh, there's something inside the booklet with the tag. Important information. Oh. It's a different language. I think it's just for safety for kids, for babies or whatever, to, you know, over 3 or plus or whatever can have this. www.peanuts.com. Peanuts. Inspired by... I can't even read this. Well, my light isn't too bright. I do have a light behind me that's brighter, but it's pretty bright, but I can't read it. It's on yellow. I'll hold it up. And there's Charlie Brown. What does this tag say on them? Oh, how cute. Snoopy in space. It says, whoops. It says Snoopy in space. Yeah. What's up from Woodstock? Oh, he's got like a space suit. How cute. Let's see. He's got a space suit. Oh, it's hard to, I'm trying to not break it. Oh, I just broke the tag off by pulling it. Oh, well, it's depreciating in value already. I think they was like $5, give or take. They weren't expensive. 5 or 6 or 7 or something, but I just love Peanuts, and I went to the Peanuts Museum in Santa Rosa last year when I visited Rosie, and it was really cool. But I've always liked Peanuts. I always had their books when I was a kid, their comics. Books of their, you know, their comics. Paperback books. Okay, so there's those 3. And then I have a request, a viewer request from BP. On my last video, he or she commented on a video, and then I think they commented if the Brady Bunch book I showed, Barry Williams, Greg Brady wrote, it was published in 1992, and this is a really good question. He told me that Robert Reed, Mr. Brady, died in 1992. Was the book written before or after he died? And I remember he had AIDS, but it was kind of secretive, I think. So maybe Barry didn't even know. Barry might have written the book and started writing it in, what was the copyright? 1992, but maybe in 1991 he started writing it, or with people, like with someone helping him write it or whatever. And because if Robert Reed would have died, I know he would have dedicated the book to him, or something like that. And he dedicated it to like one or two people, and it wasn't Robert Reed, Mr. Brady. So yeah, I think Florence Henderson was good friends with him, Mrs. Brady, when he had AIDS. I mean, but I think it was all kept secret until he died. So unfortunately, a lot of men died of AIDS, and he was gay. Suppose that's what came out, that he was gay, and he was in the closet when he was on the Brady Bunch. But he was older when he got AIDS. So I guess a lot of men found him attractive because he was Mr. Brady, maybe. I don't know. So anyways, let me read. This is my handy dandy little, it's kind of like a journal, but I like it. Okay. Let me see the questions. Then I wrote back that I checked the book, and there's no mention of him dying in the book, and it must have been written before, because it said Robert Reed is, like he was still alive. It didn't say was. So maybe the other Brady kids had no idea that Robert was dying, Robert Reed. I think I remember Florence Henderson when he died, speaking for him. I can't remember, but it was a long time ago. Okay, BP wanted to know, what are my top 10 TV shows while I was growing up? Okay, these aren't in any order. My favorite, I guess this one is in order. This one, The Brady Bunch, was my favorite show. I watched the reruns. I even bought, I didn't tell you guys this yesterday, but I have DVD box set of all the episodes, complete series, complete episodes. And it even has some of the Brady movies that came out after the Brady Bunch finished. They made some movies, like Christmas movies and stuff, and they made some movies as adults. So those movies are on the DVD set, are in it. Okay, so the Brady Bunch is number 1. The Flintstones is number 2, which I watched on reruns, and I'll still watch it when it's on TV, but I don't really need to, because I also, several years ago, bought a box set of DVDs of the Flintstones. So I have the complete series, and I think there's a movie on there, Fred Flintstone. Or there was a movie, A Man Called Flintstone or something. I never saw it, but I haven't watched it, but I think that's one of the DVDs. So, and that was originally, like when it came out in the early 60s, I read that it was aimed at adults. I mean, it was a primetime show back then, but it was more aimed at adults, but for some reason, kids, I was on reruns like after school or whatever. So, yeah, mostly kids. But I guess I remember the Fred Flintstones. The Flintstones, I've seen old ads, old commercials of Fred and Barney smoking, and maybe Wilma, and they're advertising, I think they advertised Lucky Strike. So that was aimed at adults. So, okay. One of my third favorite is the Bugs Bunny show, which was Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny mostly. I think Elmer Fudd too, but it was called the Bugs Bunny, and I think it was called the Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck show, and it was on Saturday or Sunday in the morning. And I like all the Looney Tunes characters. I grew up on that. Oh, I forgot to put Gumby. I liked Gumby too. Oh, well. Anyways. Then my next one was Kimba the White Lion, which is also a cartoon. I'm mostly talking about my childhood rather than when I was a teenager, even though BP said when you were growing up. Kimba the White Lion was a cartoon, Japanese cartoon, anime, real early anime. And they didn't call it anime then, but it was dubbed with English, but it was in Japanese, where I think anime started. And it was filmed before my time. I mean, it was made earlier than when I watched it. It wasn't live; they were already reruns. But yeah, I love that show. I think there was kind of a lawsuit or something that Simba from the Disney, from the Lion King. It's kind of a coincidence the way it rhymes with Kimba, and he was a lion too. He was a young lion. Yeah, I don't think he ever grew up. He never got that mane, you know. So yeah, I love that show. He got around. Lots of animals. It was a cartoon, but lots of animals. They were all friends, and yeah, it was really good. It went Kimba the lion is the one. I remember. And then Happy Days, which was prime time, and my whole family loved it, and my mom loved it because she grew up in the 50s, and you know they played the 50s music. So yeah, I loved it. I loved the Fonz, especially. Well, I loved the Fonz and Richie, who's Ron Howard. I loved all those guys that were friends, but I liked the Fonz. He was older than the other ones, I remember. Older than the other high school boys that were friends with him. But I think towards the end of the series, it ran so long, all the boys that were in high school all were in college. I think they showed maybe the last episode or last couple episodes, they were in college. Still living at home, but not away at college. And Donnie and Marie show, the variety show, I think it was in the 90s. They had a talk show where, you know, they had guests and topics where they were both married, and I think Marie already had a couple kids. So they were older, but not that old. So that's not the one. I liked it when they were teenagers, and it was a variety show, and they'd have guests on, and I liked variety shows like Carol Burnett and all those kinds of shows, which are on rerun, which I can watch on Antenna TV, on Antenna, which I use to get my TV. It's on a retro station, the Carol Burnett show. They repeat it, they rerun it. So I've watched that, but yeah, I like the Carol Burnett show. But Donnie and Marie, I really liked. In fact, I saw Donnie and Marie when they were playing in Vegas like 3 times for 10 years. They played there, 10 or 11 years. Now it's just Donnie. They were playing at the Flamingo, but now it's just Donnie at Harrah's. But I like to see his show too. I'm going to miss Marie very much. So, and I even touched Donnie's hand because we've always had really good seats when we saw the Donnie and Marie show in Vegas when I went with people. And Donnie was like putting his hand out and people touched it. And also Marie asked a question and I answered it and she goes, okay. She said, somebody said they were from Roswell. And she goes, where's Roswell? And I answered New Mexico before the guy answered. So she said, okay. So, yeah. She didn't know where Roswell was. I'm telling you. And this was just like, 5 or 10 years ago. Okay. Then I like Speed Racer, which was on a channel. It was like a UHF channel, both Kimba the White Lion and Speed Racer. Now, Speed Racer is also anime, very old anime, before all the anime was created. And I think it was in Japanese. They talked Japanese, but it was dubbed, I'm pretty sure, in English. So, does anyone remember those Pippi Longstocking movies, the really old ones? Those were dubbed too. Those were in Swedish. All the characters spoke Swedish, but they dubbed them in English. I used to love the Pippi Longstocking movies. Okay, Roadrunner and Coyote. Okay, the Roadrunner and Coyote show, they had their own show. They weren't, I don't know if they were Looney Tunes. Maybe they were, but they weren't on the Bugs Bunny show. So I think it was on Sunday morning. They had their own show with the Roadrunner and Coyote. I always liked that. And then when I was really young, I liked Romper Room. I remember watching it when I was a little girl, I think even before I started school. So that was a really good show. And that show ran, I think, through the 80s. I think it still ran. But I even had those, I don't know if they're still safe anymore. I think they were called Romper Stompers. These cups kind of that were rubber or plastic, and you'd put your feet on and you'd hold the strings and you'd walk. It'd make you taller. But I had those, and they're not really that safe because kids, you could fall off the cup and sprain your ankle, I guess. But they had them when I was growing up. So those are my top shows. Thanks for listening, and I'm gonna upload this in the morning because it's already 8:22. Probably upload my 9:22. Yeah, that's too late. So I'm gonna set the timer to maybe be released at 7 tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time. So thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye.